that I'll be sharing with you is regular sex. Regular sex is seen as when a couple, have sex for like maybe 3 or 4 times a week and all that. Now, having regular sex or maybe even a daily sex does not necessarily mean that the two people have their marriage intact. People can be having sex in marriage, but they're already thinking of how they opt out of that marriage. So, because sex is not actually the core of marriage, it's part of marriage. It's part of what occurs in marriage. It's part of the essentials of marriage, but it's not the real core. It's not the main thing in marriage. My name is Florence. To all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always coming back. I really appreciate you. And if you're new here, if this is your first time of seeing my face, you're very much welcome. On this channel, I make videos on love life, motherhood, faith, and African food. So if you love such content, then you're in the right place. So please, that subscribe button, that red subscribe button, please just hit it, and also switch on the notification bell so that whenever I post a new video, you can be notified immediately. I post new videos every week. You're very much welcome once again to my channel. My last video was on story time. In that video, I shared a lot of true life stories from which you can gain a lot of lessons. So I will leave the link up here or in the description box so that you can just go straight into it after watching this video. You will so enjoy the full true life stories that I shared in it. Thank you. In today's video, I want to share with you what marriage is in reality and in practical terms. I want to share with you the practical definition of marriage and how this can help you in your marital relationship. Because if you have knowledge and understanding about something, you will know how to handle it and how to use it to your advantage. As a wife and as a mom of some years now, I want to share with you some things as it relates to marriage. I want to share with you things that people think is marriage, but not actually marriage. What people call marriage, but it's not actually marriage itself. And also, what people disregard or overlook, but are actually the core of marriage, the main substance of marriage. I'll be sharing from my heart what marriage is and not giving you the dictionary meaning of marriage or what we're all taught in social studies in school. So in essence, what is marriage in reality and in practical terms? Marriage is the rapport, the relationship that exists between a man and a woman in a marital union. You know what? The health of your marriage will be measured by the degree of smoothness that exists in your rapport, in your relationship together. I mean, you and your husband or you and your wife in the marital union. This is what marriage is in practical terms. That is, are you fond of each other? Do you enjoy each other's company? Are you friendly with each other? Are you friends? Have you been able to build strong friendship in between the two of you? Do you work for the betterment and for the good of the other? Are you able to work as a team? Let me show you some of the things that people consider as marriage, that people use, to measure the existence of marriage, or to measure the health of marriage, but are not actually the core of marriage. Do you understand? We can only call them maybe part of marriage or products of marriage. Number one is wedding. You know what? Wedding makes the law and the people around you to be witnesses to your legal union. Indeed, wedding, it kickstarts a marital union. That is well established and we all know that. But it is not enough to describe the whole essence of marriage. After the wedding, how have two people, how have they been able to manage their relationship? A wedding can graduate into a real marriage, or probably the two of them just becoming sexual partners living together, or probably the two of them becoming just flatmates. So it all depends on how the two of them have been able to handle their rapport over time. Two is children. Now, children are products of a sexual relationship between a man and a woman. However, having beautiful children is not a measure of the presence or the existence of a healthy marriage between the man and the woman, or the existence of a healthy rapport in between the two of them. One thing that people look at is luxuries of life, like houses, cars, and things like that. Now, that a couple is living in a big mansion and they have fleets of cars is not a measure of the presence of a good bond in between them. It doesn't mean that they are in a healthy marriage. It doesn't mean that things are smooth in between them. So although cars and houses, having all such things, they are also part of the marriage, part of the family, but it's not the marriage itself. Another thing that people look at to measure how healthy their marriage or other people's marriage, is if the two of them are not slacking, in their obligations in the marital union. That is, the man is providing well for the family, and the woman is, taking care of the home front, taking care of the children, doing what she's supposed to do, and all that. However, that can't be used as a measure of how healthy their marriage is. People can be doing that, but things are not doing, things are not okay in their marriage and all that, because the core of marriage actually is friendship. Is that strong rapport, like I said earlier, is that strong rapport that exists between the man and the woman in the marital union. The fifth thing that I'll be sharing with you is regular sex. Regular sex is seen as when a couple, have sex for like maybe 3 or 4 times a week and all that. Now, having regular sex or maybe even a daily sex does not necessarily mean that the two people have their marriage intact. People can be having sex in marriage, but they're already thinking of how they opt out of that marriage. So, because sex is not actually the core of marriage, it's part of marriage, it's part of what, occurs in marriage, it's part of the essentials of marriage, but it's not the real core, it's not the main thing in marriage. But people see it, they use it to judge, how healthy a marriage is. But it is not the core, it is not the major thing. The friendship, the rapport is the major thing, is the main tool, is the main tool that can be used to measure how strong a marital union is. In essence, I would like you to understand the difference between these things that I've mentioned and your marriage, so that you can prioritize aright. As much as these 5 things are essentials of marriage, they are part of marriage, they are things that must be present in a marriage. They are not the core, they are not the main substance of marriage, they are not the marriage in itself. Do you understand? And you really need to identify them as such, so that you can prioritize the right thing that you're supposed to prioritize in your marriage. Like I said earlier, marriage is the rapport existing in between a man and a woman in a marital union. So this is what you should prioritize the most in your union, in your marriage. That is your rapport, your relationship. Invest in it, nurture that rapport, nurture that relationship, and you will sure enjoy the reward of having a healthy and a sound marriage. Don't neglect your relationship with your spouse and expect it to be great on its own. Let me tell you something. No fallow land grows good crops and edible crops on its own. The only thing you will find on a fallow land is weeds. But if you see a land that is cultivated, you will see beautiful edible crops, good crops on it. So that's the same thing with your relationship with your spouse as well. So you need to tend it, you need to nurture it, so that you'll be able to have a very strong marriage that you really desire. Do all you can, or all you should, to have a great relationship, a great rapport with your spouse, because that is what holds every other things together. Without it, a lot of things will fall apart. Now, how do you nurture your rapport, your relationship with your spouse? Now, number one thing is by identifying each other's likes and dislikes and handling it appropriately. I did a video on this, a full video on this sometime last year. I will leave the link up here and also in the description box as well, so that you can watch it maybe after watching these videos on how you can handle the likes and the dislikes of your partner or of your spouse, and engage it, use it to the advantage, to betterment of your marriage. Number 2 is by loving, caring and being affectionate. There is no one that doesn't like being cared for, being loved. All these little actions, little words of affection will go a long way. Then the third thing is by resolving conflict promptly, quickly. Don't allow any conflict to linger. Do you understand? And then forgive each other easily and quickly. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So don't allow any conflict to linger at all. I also did a video on that sometime last year. I will leave the link up here and also in the description box as well. The fourth way that I will share with you on how to nurture your rapport with your spouse is by listening and paying attention to the complaints of your spouse and changing. Now in marriage, if your spouse complain about something, no matter how gentle they are, how quiet they show the displeasure or their grievance concerning something, try and take it seriously. The person may just be mature enough to know how to express it in a very loving, in a very quiet way. But don't now disregard it or take your spouse for granted. Do you understand? So if your spouse complain about something that they are not happy about, try and take it seriously and change. Do you understand? And that will bring so much joy to the heart of your spouse. Then another way to nurture your rapport with your spouse is by honoring and respecting. So the two of you should honor each other and respect each other. I have a full video on that one as well. I'll leave the link also in the description box as well. So, and I won't tell you everything so that this video won't be too long. So anything that will bring joy and peace to your marriage, to your spouse, engage in it. Use it to nurture your rapport, with your spouse, and you will sure have a great marriage. This is where I'll be stopping as far as this video is concerned. I hope you have learned one or two things from this video. So please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so that whenever I post a new video, you can be notified immediately. Then don't forget to like also this video and share it with your friends as well, that that it will benefit them in one way or the other. So till I see you again in my next video, have a great day, a great week and a great life. Bye.